Hi folks, this is Professor Hindracker and this is our syllabus overview video. We're going to be going over our syllabus and what it entails. It's not too long, but hang with me here so that we understand what's required of us in this course. So if you go to your home tab, let's go up here to the left. Hold on one second, move my screen over. You can click on syllabus right here and it will bring up the syllabus for you, so go ahead and do that right now. And when we hit syllabus, our course description is below. It's a continued study of muscle and bone structure to the human body. So we're going to have heavy emphasis on our biomechanical laws of movement. And this is very, very important. So make sure that you're reading your text and you're watching our overview videos each week to understand. Online learning, this is simply to remind you that this is fully online and in hybrid format. So our course is 8 weeks long. We do not have a 16-week course. We are going 8 weeks at a time. And if you've taken an OPS class before, you know this already. It's something that you've experienced. So make sure that you are, one, on top of your work, you know your deadlines. Two, you're communicating with me as your professor so that you let me know anything that's going on in your life that would prohibit you from making your deadlines. And three, make sure that you're checking your Lancer mail every single day so that you see any announcements that I send you, or that any announcements regarding our work, or regarding, you know, just maybe I have a family emergency that I have to take care of and I'm just communicating with you that I won't, you know, be available for the next 12 hours. Those three things make sure you're on top of. So remember that you are an active participant in class. So if we have a discussion board, you need to be participating. That doesn't mean just leave a comment for someone and not go back and participate in the discussion. We're trying to promote discussion and understand biomechanics. So make sure that you're really involved in the course. Also, we're going to come down here to instructor contact information. My name is Victoria Hindracker. Please address me as Professor Hindracker. I'm an adjunct faculty, so I'm available by appointment only via internet call because I live in Clovis, California. I don't live in Riverside, so I'm not on campus or near campus like some of my other colleagues who have that wonderful privilege, but I do have the ability to have Zoom calls with you or talk to you over the phone. So I have listed my phone number. Here is my email for Cal Baptist. Please email me before you call me. If I don't get back to you within about 12 hours, then go ahead and call me. But that is my personal phone number. I don't have an office phone, so if you call me, please make sure that you have already tried to reach out to me via email. I will be available on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 5 by appointment to have discussions with you or to meet with you regarding grades or regarding the text or regarding anything that you really need to understand. If you need help on your CAPS or your midterm, those types of things, I'm available for help during those hours. The required texts and resources, moving on. So you can click here. It should take you to a link on Amazon for our book. So we're going to be reading, we have a few resources. So Dynatomy with DVD by It's Dynamic Human Movement. So this is what it looks like, just so that everyone can see. I have a copy of it. It has this gentleman on the rings for gymnastics. Pretty awesome. So make sure that you are getting the 2012 version. You will need that. The second point is links to videos to reinforce weekly material. So I will be submitting videos for, you know, your lecture and for your weekly overview video. Please make sure that you're watching those so that you understand what's going on in our weekly content. 3, required resources. You have to have a video camera. That's one. You must have a tape measure. So a tape measure would be one that's not like a construction tape measure. I would prefer one that, you know, a seamstress uses. It's pliable and it's movable. So get a tape measure. The third one is a scale. You need to have a scale for weight. And then the fourth is access to free weights. So if you need to use the gym, you have a gym membership, great. If not, if you have free weights at home, that's wonderful as well. Okay? Moving on, course and student outcomes. So we have 6 goals. I'm going to read those goals, and then you can feel free to read the objectives below in your own free time. Our first goal is that students will be able to identify and utilize basic vocabulary of human movement anatomy. So anterior and posterior, sagittal plane, frontal plane, transverse plane, flexion, extension, internal and external rotation, those types of words, those types of basic vocabulary words that we already learned in movement anatomy, and now we need to apply in applied movement anatomy. And moving on to goal number 2, students will be able to identify and explain basic biomechanical principles. So we'll get further into this. You're going to describe the difference in kinetic and kinematic principles of motion, and so on and so forth. Goal 3, students will be able to identify and describe the components of movement within the body. So when we are moving through flexion and extension, you need to be able to explain the components of that movement, what's happening at the wrist, what's happening at the elbow, what's happening at the shoulder. Are they all experiencing extension and flexion, and are they all moving in the sagittal plane? Those types of things. Goal number 4, students will be able to identify and apply various fitness terms and training principles. So this is dynamic movement anatomy. So applied movement anatomy, we're going to be talking about how people move through the motion. So in a movement anatomy, we're simply going over what plane of motion are we in, what action is occurring at the joint, those types of things. What's our agonist muscle, what's our prime mover, and now we're going to be talking about how those apply in various fitness terms and training principles when we're working in sport. Goal 5, students will be able to analyze and apply basic sports and exercise movements and training. So this goes hand in hand with goal 4. After you understand how to apply it, you'll be able to analyze it. So if you watch a sport or you watch a specific movement, let's say a squat, you should be able to analyze that movement and understand what's going on in that basic sport-specific movement that's going on. You should also be able to understand what's going on in that training technique. Do we need to put more weight in our heels? Are we experiencing valgus? What's going on with our spine? Are we in a neutral position, isometric contraction? Are we extending our spine in the improper way, right? Or do we have improper form or do we have proper form? Those types of things. Goal 6, our very last goal, is that students will be able to integrate faith, proficiency, and professionalism in kinesiology. So we want you to not only walk away from this class understanding our content, but we want you to understand our faith as well and what it looks like to be professional and proficient inside of kinesiology. That means writing a professional email, addressing me as, "Hello, Professor Hinderocker, my name is John Smith, and I am in your applied movement anatomy class, and I have a question about week 1, our CAP assignment. Would you please get back to me at your earliest convenience?" Having professionalism, not just writing one line of, "Hey, professor, I need help with my assignment." Well, I teach 6 classes, so how am I supposed to know which class you're in and which assignment you need help on, that type of a thing. So moving on, assignment overview, we have text reading, weekly videos, quizzes, midterms, final, and a critical assignment. So your text reading is out of our lovely book right here. You need to make sure that you're reading your text each week. That's listed inside of each learning activity. Weekly videos such as this or a web activity will be posted inside of our weekly activities as well. Make sure you're taking part in that. Quizzes you have to take each week. They cover the material from our reading and our lectures. So if you're reading your book and listening to your lecture, looking at your PowerPoints and studying the material, you should do just fine on your quizzes. Your midterm exam will be taken during week 4, and it's a time midterm. It covers weeks 1 through weeks 4, and the questions are short answer format, so they're not long paragraphs. You might have to write a paragraph at the end for a question or two, but for the most part it's short answer, and it's due on Sunday at midnight on week 4. Final exam is due week 8. It's pretty much the same as a midterm exam, but it's covering materials from week 5 through 8, and the questions will be short answer format as well, and it's completed by Friday, not Sunday, Friday at midnight on week 8. Your critical assignment preparation, so you're going to have a CAP assignment prep each week. You're going to be picking a movement that you're going to be dissecting and going through, and we'll be talking about what that looks like in human biomechanics and movement analysis in our overview video. But you're going to be picking one movement to dissect and go over, and you're going to have something to do for that movement each week. And then at the end, you will turn in your CAP, which is your critical assignment. And it's really important for you to remember that even if you have a B in the class, with all the other work that we're doing, if you don't pass the CAP, which shows us that you actually are proficient inside of the information we're giving you, you don't pass the class. So make sure that you're really paying attention and you're doing well on your CAPs. If you're struggling in your CAPs each week, your CAP preparation before you turn in your final CAP, please send me an email. I am happy to help you. That's why I'm here. Assessment policies, you have your course evaluation plan and point distribution. This course is out of 1,000 points, so I'll let you go over that in your own free time, but it's broken up between quizzes, CAPs, your 2 exams, course pretest, and your introductions. So you have your final grades below, A through F with percentage, and this is our schedule, so it just takes you through week 1 through week 8. You have to complete your quizzes on day 7, which is a Sunday, and your CAP on day 7, but you have to complete any type of a discussion board. Like for this, we have introduction discussion board by day 3, which is a Wednesday. So you can scroll down there and make sure that you understand when things are due. Expectations, I did talk about professionalism a little bit. Please make sure that all of your work is written professionally. You've proofread your work, you've gone over it. It is an APA style format that you have no more than 2 per page, so it's talking about work that is excessive. It is more than two pages, sorry, not more than 2 pages, but work that is excessive is more than two pages or distracting grammatical, mechanical, or typographical errors. So just make sure that you're proofreading your work. As a professional, you're expected to collaborate with your colleagues. So if we have a discussion board, please give your input. Please talk with your fellow colleagues. Regular effective contact, you need to check your Lancer mail every single day. So that's how I communicate with you. That's how you will communicate with me. I will be checking my Lancer mail multiple times a day, even during the weekends, to give you feedback. Timely feedback, communication is 24 hours. So I will be giving you feedback within 24 hours. Timely feedback for assessed work, so that would be, your CAP, or if I have to grade an exam that wasn't automatically graded by the computer, then you need to allow me 72 hours to grade that work. I do not have a problem with you reaching out and asking a question before 72 hours, but it typically will take me 72 hours to grade all of the work because I have multiple students, all right? And 1 week for major assignments, so this would be midterm, final, and major projects and papers. Late assignments, my late policy is that you can turn your assignments in up to 2 days late. After that, it is a 0. So a 10% deduction will be taken off your final score of the deduction for each day that the assignment is late. Assignments turned in past the two-day mark must be cleared by myself. So if you have an emergency or you need an extension, you need to email me. And please email me before. Don't email me 5 minutes before. I understand if you have a family emergency, but email me a good amount before so I understand why things aren't going to be submitted by you. Just realize too that on Monday mornings I will be going through all of the content for the previous week, and I will be giving zeros in the content area for students who have not turned in work, and that is just to grab your attention and show you that you haven't turned in your work. You can then refer to the late policy and still turn in your work after that. However, I will be giving zeros, and a new score will not be given unless an email is sent to me regarding why the work is late. So. Netiquette is network etiquette, so that just means that the forms required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be required in social official life. So in other words, netiquette is a set of rules for behaving properly online. Please use professional speech when you're talking to each other online. Make sure that everything that you're putting out content-wise is appropriate and that sort of thing. Academic honesty. A first incident of violation of the honor code is handled at discretion by myself in consultation with the dean of students. So if you cheat, if you plagiarize, those types of things, and you get caught, then we're going to have a meeting about it. Further violations will then be handled by not just our dean of students, but just further than that. So that would be like our department head, and then further than that could be the president of our school, that sort of thing. So make sure that you're being honest. Plagiarism is not allowed, so make sure that you're writing your own work and you're giving credit where credit is due. If you are a student with a disability, please send me an email and let me know so that I can accommodate you, and let me know as soon as possible so that I can make those proper arrangements. Lastly, our suggested resources for further study are below. So these are 6 additional resources that you may want on hand for this course, but they are not required, so they are just there in case you want to use them. So that is our syllabus overview video. I know that was a lot of content, but thanks for hanging in there with me. Just a reminder, I am available Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 5 by appointment only, and all of my contact information is here. So if you have any further questions, please refer to the syllabus first and then reach out and ask me that. If it is in the syllabus, I will just send you an email back and say, hey, please refer to the syllabus, so your question can be answered there. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to reading your work. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.